Everybody look at the snow in the yard.
This is the Patriots Pregame Show, presented by Dunkin.
Nobody's walking out on this fun, old-fashioned family Christmas. No, we're all in this together.
The Patriots Pregame Show is the world's largest virtual tailgate.
Humbug, I tell you, humbug.
Featuring fans of the six-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots.
And we're gonna have the happiest Christmas since Bing Crosby tap danced with Danny Kaye.
Hardy, Mike Dussault, Paul Perillo, and Tamara Brown are here to light up the Christmas tree.
La 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 la. Look at the bells, look at the bells. Holy crap, here comes Jesus, and he doesn't look too happy.
Hardy, Mike Dussault, Paul Perillo, and Tamara Brown are here to get you ready for the game.
Oh why must Christmas come but once a year?
And did you know tomorrow is Tamara's birthday?
Today is my B-Day, and people around here just go crazy for it. I don't know why.
Now, live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, Patriots Nation, welcome to the Patriots Pregame Show presented by Dunkin.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
What an open for this Christmas Eve day spectacular on Patriots.com. It's the Patriots Pregame Show, fueled by Dunkin. Here comes the almost birthday girl herself. Hi, Tamara. Hello, Mike Dussault. Hello, Paul Perillo.
Hello, Jerry.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. So here we are, Christmas Eve day at Gillette Stadium. The parking lots are packed already.
So much.
I think
It's cold.
I think people are going to take their time today due to the chilliness. And, oh, yes, it is Christmas Eve, but that's not going to stop the Patriots from coming down the chimney on the Bengals. I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
They're going to give him a gift?
I don't. Yeah, they might. They might. We are here to talk all things Patriots, Christmas, what have you. With you, 855-PATS-500, webradio at patriots.com. As we settle in and get ready for a spectacular show today. Jeff Hobson, which is spelled differently than magician Jeff Hobson, but we all know about the magician Jeff Hobson.
No.
Oh, he's a wonderful
magician,
prestidigitator. Yes. Oh, he's great.
What kind of stuff does he do? Escape things?
He's kind of a comedy magician.
Close up.
Okay, so you're familiar with the show The Illusionist that was touring around?
Yeah.
Spent some. Okay, so he's the MC for that show. I worked with him back in Michigan. One of my former life, I served as a magician's assistant.
You get sawed in half ever? Or?
No, but I did a levitation. Spoiler alert, came out of the crowd and they levitated me. I was a plant. But these are true stories.
Crushing my dreams of magicians. I thought it was real.
So Jeff Hobson will join us. He is from Bengals.com, and we'll get to everything going on with the team this week. So kind of a short week. What do you boys been hearing about the team this week? You know, you've been here in the Gillette Stadium. What's going on? I always like to get the inside juice from you guys to start things off.
I think these are funny games to sort of predict, not so much in terms of the personnel and the talent on the field, but the mentality and the sort of, I don't know, inspiration to play, the motivation to play. And I think it works both ways. It's a Christmas Eve game, obviously. I mean, more so it's Tamara's, birthday Eve.
I hadn't heard that.
So anyway, that's a nice hat you got there, Tamara. I like it.
Thank you.
No, sure, better than mine.
Thank you.
Well, it is much better than yours.
That's all right. I'm trying to have the spirit.
It would be even cooler if the batteries were working in my hat, because then it would light up.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you want to
Well,
run
you
out?
light up the room just all on your own.
Do you want to run out and get some batteries and come back?
It's a little bit too cold outside.
Well,
It is.
you're either committed to the look or you're not.
So I do think you can look at it both ways. I think the Bengals are as hot as any team in football. They started off 0-2 and have won 10 of 12 since then. I think 6 in a row, 7 out of 8. They just have been playing really good football. They had a spirited comeback win at Tampa last week, taking advantage of Tom Brady uncharacteristic turnovers, 4 turnovers in a row for the Bucs. And then they have Buffalo next Monday night, and they have a lot to play for. They can not only trying to lock down the AFC North over Baltimore, but they're trying to get the number 1 seed. Yeah. They have a possibility. They're only 1 game out, and they play Buffalo next week. So if they were to win that game, they would have wins over both Kansas City and Buffalo. So there's a lot of motivation there. But at the same time, it's a trap game for them. It's like the Patriots in between those 2 big games.
Yeah.
But the Patriots are playing at home on Christmas Eve. They're that was a crushing loss that they had last week. Do they just want to go home and open presents with their kids and, sort of enjoy the holiday? Cincinnati doesn't have that opportunity. They're on the road. Yeah. So I think it's one of those games that it's hard to predict what the motivation will be.
Yeah, Cincinnati clinching a playoff spot, too. So they're officially in now. I mean, Paul's right about where they're going to end up, but I'm looking forward to seeing them. It's a team. I mean, the next 2 weeks you're going to get divisional rivals. You kind of know there's all kinds of, subtext, built-up stories between the Bills and the Dolphins and the Patriots, but this is a team you haven't seen since 2019. You smoked them last time. They're a totally different team right now and one of the best teams in the AFC. So I think it's a good, seeing exactly where the Patriots stack up in the AFC, I think it'll be a good barometer.
Kind of sobering to think about a game at this point in the year, or really any point in the year, that is viewed as a trap game where the Patriots are not the ones being trapped.
Right, no.
We're the trappers.
When's the last time?
They're setting the trap.
I mean, I guess maybe
chess.
Maybe it's
checkers.
No, isn't it always better to be a team that is in danger of losing a trap game?
If you're going to talk about trap games, which a lot of people don't believe in,
because you've got bigger goals,
right?
You're on to bigger things. It's
right?
like, oh, this game's going to derail you from what you're supposed to do.
Exactly. Retreat! It's a trap.
I don't want to set a trap. I want to be the team getting trapped and then avoid the trap. I don't like it. I don't like it this way. All right, Tamara, there was plenty of conversation after that game last week against the... Oh, we got to get to the keys to the game. What the hell am I doing? Hardy, you big dummy.
Why did you leave the keys up on the table? You wanted to.
You've waited all week for it.
The whole team's in the locker room right now just listening to this, waiting to hear what you're going to say.
Without these keys, the Patriots are destined and doomed to fail.
Here are Hardy, Paul, Mike, and Tamara's keys to the game.
Why did I steal your key to the game also? You have the key. You have the right one.
Keys to the game. By the way, I believe the players get here for a 1 o'clock game around like 10-ish? Earlier?
Maybe a little earlier. I'm not really sure on that.
I think I saw somebody rolling in right when I was rolling in.
Well, that would seem to be a little late.
That would seem to be a little late, right?
Wasn't Mac Jones, was it?
They park underneath the thing over there?
Yeah.
On a game day?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
They don't park in Spooky World.
No.
No.
They don't park the players a mile away from the stadium?
They come past where we walk in and park.
I park in Mike's driveway in Sharon.
They park underneath that thing over there? Past where we walk in, they go straight and park under there?
Yeah, it's like a private little area right in the middle, right near their entrance.
I never really paid attention.
I also think there's an area that they get. See, they've done it a lot of different ways. There used to be they would park somewhere and then they would get driven over in like shuttles.
Oh,
and
so
golf carts and what
the shuttle.
Yeah, nothing like that open air shuttle on a Check's laptop 13-degree day.
Yeah. Anyway, so we'll just give them another moment to get settled. If that Range Rover Super Sport I saw driving in at 10-something a.m., right? It just, if I were a football player, that's the car I would drive.
Sure.
That's the one. So we'll give them a second to get settled so they can hear our keys to the game to ensure victory today. Mike Dussault is up first.
I get to go. All right, well, I'm going to kick off a little bit of a theme, which I think is the right theme. I mean, for me, it's you got to get after Burrow. You have to get pass rush pressure on him, something that let the Patriots down last week down the stretch against the Raiders. If there is one place that the Patriots could have an advantage today, I think it's, attacking that offensive line with, Dietrich Wise playing great, Matt Judon playing great, Josh Uche playing great, Christian Barber. These guys all have to play great. This isn't a demand science update statistic.
You better not, because I only have one. So
I hope I'm stealing your one. But I thought interesting stat. Joe Burrow by number of sacks taken in games since 2021. If you get 0 to 3, he's 18-3. If you get 4+, he's 2-7. Now, I mean, I know sacks are sacks, not the be-all, end-all of statistics, but I think it illustrates the point. You got to get after him. You got to get him uncomfortable early. It's like Brady. You got to take him out of the game early, not let him get comfortable, not let him step up in the pocket and make plays, and then late you got to close them out like they didn't do last week.
All right. I think we all have very, very similar themes here. And Tamara's, yours might be a little bit different. Yours is kind of an overall team thing here with the Bengals.
Tame the Bengals.
Tame that, because they're wild.
They're wild.
They're the large cats, the Bengals are.
Yeah.
So you want them tamed. Do you want them domesticated?
No.
You just want them tamed.
Like when you think of taming an animal, it usually
Christmas
takes
Eve.
I'm
barely here. Okay, just so you know.
Oh my gosh.
Please go ahead.
When you think of taming an animal, I feel like it takes not just one shot. It might take multiple tries. And so I think that through all
Gonna shoot the animal to tame it, or are you talking
you know,
a figurative shot?
They're
gonna need to tone it down.
Animals.
I
You have
can
to
tell
tone
you
it
that
down.
right now.
There's some animal lovers that are listening to this. Animal lovers.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Taming.
Do you have any pets?
Taming. I don't. I don't have time for pets.
You're but I have oodles of time. You know what? You make time. You make time for the
No.
things important in your life.
You know what's important to me? Sleep. So I'd rather sleep.
And your birthday.
My birthday.
Birthday week.
You know, I would have to pay
Birthday
someone
Eve.
to watch a dog during work, during a game day. Like, no.
Okay. All right. Tame the Bengals.
You
Paul?
just ruined my whole key.
Wow, I heard it. Something about multiple shots. I don't know.
No. Tame the Bengals
Right.
means it's going to take all 4 quarters
Right.
to tame them, not just 1 quarter. You
Right.
can't just tame them for 1 quarter and think you've won the game.
That's
Because
actually.
as you can see what they did last week,
Can
they could come back in the 4th
Can
quarter.
Joe Burrow orchestrate a 3 scoring drives in 1 quarter?
Probably.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. So
Sure.
that to Tamara's
Yeah.
point, she's absolutely right. You got to
Right.
do it the entirety.
The entire game. I mean, Mike, I
all
wanted you
60
to say
minutes.
I wanted you to say your whole key because I laughed reading it.
Oh, early, often, and late.
Yes, it's going to take the whole game.
It's true.
I had a couple of nips of schnapps on the way in, so I'm all loosened up and feeling a little
I was
giddy.
behind a car that was doing, as you say, the marijuana pot dope, and I was like,
the marijuana pot dope.
"Oh boy, oh boy!"
All
you
3
got-
of them, huh?
Luckily, I'm staying sharp right now.
So you
but
got
it was
secondhand?
like, whew, they were pre-gaming in a serious way, coming down Route 1 in front of me.
I mean, I did it way back in the day. I don't do anything anymore. But the notion of drinking this early, or especially the marijuana pot dope this early, and I smell
You'd
it
be
out
sleeping.
walking my dog,
Oh,
which
yeah.
I make time for every morning.
Wow.
You smell it? The people driving by with their
Yeah,
marijuana.
I got here pretty
potty
early.
pipes.
Yeah. No, it was about 8:45 this morning when I pulled into Spooky World, and
Not
it was a
early.
long way away from the stadium, and I could still smell the marijuana pot dope.
Yeah,
I did. I
people
did.
love it. They gobble it up.
Yeah.
Oh, they love
They
it.
gobble it up too. They smoke it. They gobble it up.
No, that's right.
All ways.
It's
consumption.
Yeah, they're called eatables.
Edibles.
Eatables.
Eatables.
No, you
Eatables.
Ed.
Edibles.
eat
Put it in
eatables.
a salad.
Paul, what's your key to the game?
Okay, my key to the game is on the other side of the ball because I feel like the Bengals are going to score some points. I think the Patriots offense has to do things that they haven't really been able to do consistently all year. And I think on a day like this, you got to help out your defense for one of the first times all year. Run the ball effectively and shorten the game is my key to the game. And they need to find a way to sort of bottle that, what they got going last week with Ramondre Stevenson and figure out if they can do that against the Bengals and find a way to put together some drives. Now, that entails a lot of things, quite frankly, that we haven't seen consistently. It's avoiding penalties to derail these drives. It's finding a way to get into the red zone, which they haven't done all year. And then once you get into the red zone, finding a way to succeed in the red zone because you're not going to win by kicking field goals. So I'm not telling you it's easy, but if you want to pull off an upset today, I don't think the defense is going to pull off the upset. I think the offense is going to have to. And I think one way to do that is to have a really strong running game and an efficient passing game to keep the clock moving and shorten the game a little bit.
Yeah,
It's cliche, I know, but I think if you continue to play offense the way you've played almost every other game, I don't think you have much of a shot.
I think it's a delightful key, and I think maybe you changed it at one point for the sake of
No.
Yeah, you were workshopping
variety.
stuff there.
No. My key to the game was run the ball and shorten the game, and then you started in, and I was like, no, Hardy, go to tame the Bengals.
Throw
and
the ball and lengthen the
evidently,
game.
I got credited with tame the Bengals.
peek
But
behind
the first thing that I did on the text chain was run the ball and shorten the game.
peek behind the curtain. We all share our keys with each other days in advance. This is a multi-day pre-production thing.
Yeah.
And Paul said, run the ball and
Shorten the game.
shorten the game. So I immediately said for my key,
Yes.
pass the ball and lengthen the
Lengthen
game.
the
Kind of
game.
contrarian, a little
Right.
bit. A little bit.
Which
Yes.
Hardy and I have this thing going a little bit. We go back and forth. We play off each other a little bit, a little wild and zany.
It's like good jazz.
Wacky stuff.
Right.
Mine is simply to Blitzboro. Just get after him. I like the alliteration, but I also think just send the house. Why not? See if you can rattle him early and keep yourself in this game. And then do whatever you have to do. If you're going to run the ball and shorten the game in order to put points on the board, great. But you're going to simplistic approach, but if Deuce agrees with me and Tamara agrees with me, I can't be completely wrong. I do think you got to focus in on the defense, and you got to blitz Burrow, and you got to make him uncomfortable early. Who knows? Maybe even force him into some bad throws, and get yourself a pick six or a pick three. How about a pick three?
So, do we think that the weather today is gonna maybe make this game be on the ground for the most part, or do you think that because Cincinnati is they play in the cold all the time, it's freezing there as well?
Yeah.
That kind of be just.
I don't think it's
game?
going to be. I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor. If
I
it's
agree.
not windy, I think the cold is just cold, but they should be able to.
It is cold, but I don't think the
Doesn't seem
conditions are
too
going to prevent
bad.
you from throwing the ball.
It's the wind that kills you.
And I don't want to assume anything. Maybe Cincinnati is a balmy climate. I haven't been there in many years. Let's go behind enemy lines and find out.
You know the view from New England,
We go behind enemy lines.
but what about the view from the other side?
And that's why you're our favorite pregame show guest every year.
You guys know you tell everybody that.
Oh, yeah?
I was on with you guys in 2018 Thursday Night Football.
Yep.
And I was told I was the favorite guest of the show.
Nope.
No.
Time now to go behind enemy lines.
My God, it's coming right for us.
Well, I think we need to help Jeff before we do anything here. Jeff Hobson from Bengals.com. I understand, Jeff, that you are somewhere in a hallway and you can't find the press box. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, struggling a little bit here. First time back in Gillette for a while, so you got a Massachusetts native who's struggling here. But I'll find my way.
This is awesome. Jeff is just real quick.
I'm waiting for somebody to give me the finger, and then I'll.
Yeah, and you'll be right at home. He's one of my favorites because when I was first starting out, and I told you I worked at the Boston Herald for a long time, and I came here to work for the team and got all the snickers and the laughs. Jeff Hobson was the first sort of real experienced beat writer to make that jump from I think it was the Inquirer, Jeff, if I'm not mistaken, to work for Bengals.com.
Yes, yep.
And Jeff was my poster child. I was like, okay, now what do you got to say? This guy's been doing it. He's been one of the most respected NFL writers, and he moved to the team side, the dark side, as I like to call it, and no one made fun of Jeff. So he was my role model. I always remembered that.
I appreciate that very much. It's a long way from the Middlesex News. So
I know.
Hey,
I know.
I love it.
I got
My
Lenny
papers.
Magliola to thank for it.
Very nice. Well, if we can help in any way, if you can describe what's in front of you, is there a famous raise or an original raise? We're trying to figure out where you are and help you get your bearings. But if you can do it on
all
your
right. I think I'm downstairs. There's a sign that says Press Box Elevator. But in this day and age, signs don't mean much.
No,
this is true.
No, and there's only one elevator for the entire building for some reason. Mike Dussault, why don't you lead us off here with Jeff?
Well, as much as I want to ask you about Burrow, I'm sure these guys will. I want to ask you about just the defensive end injuries. To Hubbard, Hendrickson. It looks like Hendrickson, might give it a go today, if I'm not mistaken. Hubbard out, but how big of a loss is it to lose those two guys who are such key pieces of the defense up front?
It's huge. It'd be like losing, Judon or I'm sorry, how do you say the guy's name? Uche.
Yep.
It'd be like losing one of those guys. Hubbard is quietly, one of the better defensive ends. You never hear about him. But the guy, no defensive end has had more tackles in the league than he has. Since he came into the league in 2018. He's terrific against the run. A better pass rusher than you think. Not to have him is a blow. Hendrickson's going to try and go. Hendrickson's got the fourth most sacks of anybody in the decade. A terrific first step. A relentless guy. He's going to try to go. He's got a broken wrist. He's going to try and do what he can, which is better than most.
When you look at this winning streak that the Bengals have, what has kind of been, I guess, the foundation of it all? Is it more so, obviously Jamar Chase and Burrow's connection? Would you say it's the improved offensive line? What if you could pinpoint one thing? What would it be that's kind of turned this season around for them?
Well, it all begins and ends with Burrow. You guys have, went through this with Brady. It's the same type of dynamic. I think what has stood out about this 6-game winning streak is there have been patches when they've done it without Mixon. Patches they've done it without Chase. They didn't have their slot corner Hilton last week. They didn't have Hubbard for most of the game. They lost their number one corner on Halloween, Cubo Awuzie, their best cover corner. Lost him, and they haven't lost since he's been out. So while yes, there is Burrow this and Burrow that, as well it should be, the depth of this club has really, I think, stood out.
Jeff, we were sort of talking about motivation in games like this. And Cincinnati is obviously as hot as anyone in football. Coming off a big road win in Tampa with a big game against Buffalo coming up next week. Any chance that this is one that the Bengals get caught overlooking?
Keith, I don't know how you can overlook New England and Belichick. Maybe I'm too close to it, but my God, I don't think you can. I also don't think the AFC North. There's just you can't. I mean, they could. They have to win out to win the division. They've got to stay a game ahead of Baltimore. If they don't stay a game ahead of Baltimore, they're not going to win the tiebreakers. So, they have to. It's not they would like to win out. They have to win out if they want that home game.
Jeff, you wrote earlier this week that the travel schedule is going to be changed for the Bengals. Did they end up coming out early to avoid the weather, and how has that affected their prep leading up to the game today?
Yeah, they did. They came out early. They clinched in all places. They clinched their second straight playoff berth in all, in all places, the Omni in Providence, Rhode Island. And it was curfew by the time the Jets, the Jags closed it out. So it was the quietest clinching I've ever seen. I was the only one walking the hall. So they got in. I don't see anything. I don't see anything out of the ordinary. They get in. They were here. They spent an extra night. They walked through at a local facility, and I just these guys. That's something about these guys. They went to the AFC. They came within 40 seconds of winning the Super Bowl last year, and it's pretty much the same roster. So not much phase these guys. Zach Taylor does a hell of a job, I think, communicating with these guys. He's a 39-year-old guy, kind of hits the generation. He knows the generation pretty well.
Jeff, what's just the status of the offensive line? I know last year it was kind of the issue for them. They made steps, grabbing Ted Karras among them to reinforce and improve the offensive line. How has the protection been this year compared to last year?
It's been a lot better. It's been a lot more consistent. Teddy's been huge. You guys know him. Very, very smart guy, communicator. What he's done, though, what Ted and Alex Kappa and Cordell Volson, the rookie guard, have done, what they've done is they solidified the middle, and he doesn't get much pressure up the middle, which is a big difference. They've also, knock on wood, I guess I'm knocking on my Framingham South head here. I'll knock on wood and tell you, they haven't had, they've had the same line, for all 14 games. That's huge. That's been big. I haven't had that happen in a while. The tackles have been challenged, but there are good edge rushers all the time. I mean, this matchup today is probably makes Bengal fans a little anxious. Two edge rushers, they would give any tackle problems. But Jonah Williams and Lyle Collins they've been fine. They've been good enough to win, and they'll have to be very good today. Obviously, this is the last time they got beat, Myles Garrett took over the game. Ooh. They cannot let Judon do that.
Right. Jeff Hobson from Bengals.com. Are you familiar with the magician, Jeff Hobson? Spells his name differently, but I'm sure you've heard of him, right?
Sir, the only magic I ever had is when I get off the Mass Pike unscathed.
Wow. Wow. What a pro. Bringing it back. And he's a brave man, too. For the Bengals.com, at Jeff Hobson, CIN, I say brave because he's got a Red Sox avatar for his Twitter handle there, even though he's
Tony C, right?
Yeah, that's
his avatar.
With the black Tony C with a black eye. That's great.
Tony Canigliaro.
All right. Hey, Jeff, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. And good luck.
Whoa.
What?
Before we let you go.
Oh, I almost screwed it up.
Jeez.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jeff. We always ask for a score prediction from our guests. So you have one for the game?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great Burrow-Belichick grind job to the end. I give it to the Bengals. I give it to the Bengals late, 24-20.
24-20. All right.
A much closer game than a lot of the locals feel like it will be.
Think you're more too much scoring. You know what? That might be too much scoring, but I think the Pats have they always have the ability to score one on defense. So
Yeah,
that is
but
true.
I think Burrow comes out of this one.
Yeah, or allow one, with no time left on the clock. Okay. Sorry. It's still a little fresh. Jeff, thanks for the time. Good luck with the Bengals and everything going forward. We appreciate it.
Happy holidays to all in New England. Thanks very much.
You too, Jeff. Thanks.
There he goes.
Wow,
Jeff,
he's one of our people, huh?
Yeah,
I mean, like what? Cincinnati must be like, what's this guy doing here? He's a Boston guy.
Great communicator.
Yeah.
How does that play?
He's up at the top of my power rankings for guests right now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and I'm not sugarcoating it. I got a chance to meet him very early in my tenure here with the Patriots and talk to him a little bit about the differences from going from sort of a traditional newspaper to working for the team.
Now, was he here or was he with the Bengals?
He was with the Bengals, and I got to meet him at the Combine.
Okay, so you've been here. I mean,
I've been here a long time.
You've been here a long time.
I don't shine shoes no more.
He's been, maybe no one went up there and told you. So he's been with the Bengals for a long time.
Yeah.
The accent is.
Right.
Oh, he's worked for Bengals.com throughout that time. He
so
told
funny,
me,
right?
Yeah, and he's
Holy crap.
first of all,
I
he's
don't
one of
trust
the
this guy.
he's one of the most respected guys, and he did. I'm not exaggerating. Like he was the first that I knew of that went for. I think he was the Cincinnati Enquirer, and then went to work for Bengals.com.
So
and then all of a sudden, like Jim Wyatt, who was one of the most respected Tennessee Titans beat reporters, he worked for the Tennessean for years. Now works for Titans.com, and there's a lot of guys that have made that move over the years, and I think Jeff was one of the trailblazers in that. He used to tell me, I called him once, and like Marvin Lewis voiced his voicemail. You've reached the desk of Jeff Hobson, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And evidently they didn't really get along all that great. He's like, I don't know how that really came about.
He mentioned the Metro West Daily News too. My
Yeah,
paper
that-
growing up, so he was
Yeah,
there.
it was the
maybe
Middlesex
before he
News
went
at the time.
Middlesex.
That's
That
how
was my
long ago.
paper.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
how
my
long
paper.
ago it was.
Yep.
So, but it's safe to assume he has lived outside of New England for a long time.
30, I would say 30 years. Anyway,
he's
yeah,
kept
he
it.
grew up in, what do you say, Framingham, right? You went to Framingham South, he said?
There's some people just the accent never leaves.
No, it's like a little taste of home. I love it.
Like I don't feel like if you talked to me when I was like 17 years old, that's exactly how I would have sounded. I don't feel like I still have an accent. I'm not telling you I've lost it,
Not
but
like
I don't
that.
think I sound like that
No.
anymore.
Oh no,
No.
Because I just got browbeaten in college.
Yeah.
I was so
At
tired
BU?
of yeah.
They were sick of it. Like, we're in Boston.
How many people you think spoke like I did at BU?
Right.
That was like 5 people that were from Massachusetts.
You were here first.
Well, that's what I said. I go, you came here. This is how we talk.
Right.
Didn't work.
Well, you're like Veronica Corningstone. You worked on your non-regional dialect so that you could, work anywhere. if
I'm
need be.
Veronica Corningstone. McGee is on vacation.
Yeah. All right, let's thank you again to Jeff Hobson from the Bengals.com at Jeff. That's GEOFF Hobson CIN on Twitter.
The magician, not the magician.
Never heard of the magician. Disappointing for me and for the magician Jeff Hobson. But we move on and we keep going here on this Patriots pregame show. It's fueled by Dunkin. Let's get to the phones here. We'll start with Floyd in Michigan. Floyd, you're up first. What do you got for us, Floyd?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Merry Christmas.
I call you today a very disappointed and frustrated man.
Oh, Mr. Floyd.
I want to talk business and results today, and I don't want to talk loyalty and past achievements. There was an article on Yahoo Sports, and I'm going to get to what I would like to see, and it's not on the field what I want to see happen. There was an article that said that they wanted to see Bill Belichick dealt with the same way Bill has dealt with his players over the last 20 years. They wanted Robert to treat him the same way. And what I've seen from Bill is better a year too soon than a year too late. We don't reward past achievement. It's all about what you do moving forward. And I'm in a complete agreement with the writer of this article. I want to go through a couple business results. I think it was Paul that said top 25, under 25 talent, we don't have any. Mr. Michael Dussault.
That was an ESPN article, by the way. No, don't blame. Don't shoot the messenger.
I heard you quote that. Mr. Michael Dussault, he said, well, who do you want to come see? Who do you want to go see on the television? Who do you want to watch? What player? What? I mean, I love Ramondre. That's my guy, but what else? I call it entertainment value. Almost done. Patriots were flexed off prime time. Wow, that's embarrassing. What do you think happens next year when they put the TV schedule out. And finally, no playoff wins in the last 3 going on 4 years. When you add all this up and then the fact that the product is embarrassing, what I would like to see, I would like to see Bill traded by the end of the year. I would Mr. Florio. Where do you want to go, Bill? Not worried about the compensation, but where do you want to go? Send him there and let's go in a new direction. Tell me what your thoughts are.
I think all that's on the table. I want to hold on to him. I still think that he is among the best coaches in football, but I don't think anything Floyd just said. Mike, it's funny. You and I had this very conversation before the show.
Yeah.
I don't think if someone feels differently than me that makes them wrong. I still think that Belichick is not the problem, but I understand if you're watching like Floyd and saying he is.
Yeah, and I think where we were at this week was that not a lot of people saying they want to get rid of Bill, but hoping that Bill will do, as Charles Robinson wrote in this article, look at the season with a correct eye and admit what happened and not try to sweep this under the rug as, if this was an average offense, you could maybe say, all right, well, maybe there's something there. Maybe there's been some signs. There's been no signs. I mean, in every critical situation in how you measure NFL football, third downs, red zone, I mean, where games are won and lost, points. I mean, when Bill, when you try to get him down with certain stats, not so much, he always goes back to points and turnovers and third down. Well, you're at the bottom of the league in all of those. So I think everybody's hoping that Bill recognizes this. I know there's more reports about Bill O'Brien this morning, who's the only hope to come and save the offense right now. Maybe that'll happen,
those
maybe
reports.
not.
Like, people have been talking about Bill O'Brien for like 2 months coming back and Bill O'Brien being receptive to coming back, and now all of a sudden someone puts out one report this morning. Bill O'Brien's receptive to coming back. Oh, okay. Now I guess it's a thing now.
I'd be all for it, but I just feel like every duck is being put in that pond right now as like he's the only one. There's no other option. Somebody who needs to. And I would like to open up the search to other people, to other philosophies, to not necessarily somebody that cut their teeth here and knows how to install whatever the old offense was, whatever this new offense is. So I just think it's the truth. Everybody watching these games know that this is an unacceptable offensive product out there, and it has been all season long. And I think where you're going to lose everybody in terms of Bill is if you try to tell us we're going to run it back and it will somehow be better next year with most of the same pieces back in place. I think they need to make dramatic moves, and I think Floyd is right. You need to get the fan base back on board. You need to get some excitement. You need to have some kind of feeling of growing towards something. I think the last few years have felt like treading water and maybe slowly dripping down. And, now in these last 3 games, you're really going to see where they stack up and how far they've fallen.
And I like your truth comment, like if you're being honest about it. And I think back to last year after the playoff game, they lost to Buffalo. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember Bill after the game?
We'll see if this was a bad night or if this is who we are.
Yeah. No. We had a bad night. I don't think he was wanting to see if we had a bad night. Like, and then the next day he was like, last year. Like, huh? Like, it was last night. Like, that just happened. He made it sound like it was something. That's not us.
Yeah, we've already moved on.
That's not us. Like, I think that he wholeheartedly believed that the blowout loss in Buffalo was not indicative of their play for the year. And I think it was.
No. You went up against a much better team than what you had faced. Now, I know you beat them in Buffalo, but that was a weather game, and that wasn't, a true test of the
And
true
after
football
that game,
team.
he's pointing to great defensive play calls at the end of the game as to being the difference as opposed to the hurricane-force winds that were blowing for 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, that's what, to Mike's point, I just hope he takes a step back and says, why are we at the bottom of the league and all these things? And if it's just about the coaches, I don't think it's going to get fixed.
Can I say one more thing? Sorry.
Yeah?
No. No.
I was thinking about it last night, Paul. I like how you put it up. And in some unfortunate ways, to this point, it just feels like we're stuck in the nightmare of that game against Buffalo still. It's just still unraveling in that same sort of way where you just can't seem to, make that key stop, score that key touchdown, get that key moment to kind of turn things around. And, just this whole season, it's been a lot of, you can hear the frustration in Floyd's voice and in a lot of, dedicated Patriot fans that really live and die by this team, and they're frustrated right now, and there just hasn't really felt like a moment that's put that loss behind us. I mean, I hate to say it, to go back to last year, but when Buffalo just hammered you like that and you just had no real ability to compete with them,
No pushback.
and it just has continued. And that's, I think, what is just more frustrating than anything. And Paul's bringing up those comments is so right. You thought that there'd be a moment where you'd say, all right, that team is gone, but it still kind of feels like the same team. And again, I think these last 3 games, you'll see exactly what it is. You haven't beaten Miami in a couple seasons. The one you got from the Bills was that weather game. So, and here's another Cincinnati team that has ascended since you last just absolutely embarrassed them, 3 short years ago. And now here they are. They've got one of the best quarterbacks in the league. They've got one of the best receiving groups in the league. They're doing it with team defense like, the Patriots used to do. So we'll see. There's not a lot of, history between these two teams. They're just going to kind of meet out there. And it's going to be interesting to see where everybody's at, how much the Patriots have in terms of coming off that last game to pull out a win today.
Let's go to Pat Nagawam. Cousin Patty joining us now on the Patriots Pregame Show. What's up, Pat?
Merry Christmas, guys.
Same
everyone.
to you.
Thank you, Patty.
Is Tamara in studio, or did she leave?
I don't know.
She's in.
She left.
She's out. She's got.
Oh, she left. I just wanted to wish her a happy early birthday too.
We'll tell her.
So
yeah,
Tamara's not here.
Feel Floyd.
She's not here.
I
You're over here now.
Floyd's pain too.
I'm over here.
But one thing I'll say about the players on this team.
Carmine left.
I mean, it's sort of sad to say this, but I'll say it anyway. Like as bad as this offense has been, and as crappy as they've been playing, really this whole year, I don't think the guys have given up. I don't think they. I think they all care about competing and playing hard and trying to win these games. And I do think this is going to be a tight, close game. Really interested to see how the defense matches up against these receivers and Burrow. And I'm picking part of me because I'm a little hungover. But I'm picking the Bengals to win. Jeff almost stole my score. I picked them to win 23-20. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch, and I'm ready to move on from this year and go to next year, and that's all I got, guys.
All right,
Merry
Pat.
Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Pat.
Merry Christmas.
There's obviously a lot of people are going to be picking the Bengals today. They're a good team. I was thinking about this on the drive in today, as we're kind of starting to put a bow on this season. No pun intended. Christmas. With the offense struggling, and a lot of talk, and now more talk about Bill O'Brien. This non-report that came out earlier today.
It's a strong option.
Yeah, a strong option.
I mean, I sort of expect him to come back at this point.
Okay, whatever. You need to do this because of what I would say is a uncharacteristic, second problem with this team based on a major decision made by Bill Belichick. And I think the first, it started with replacing Tom Brady with Cam Newton, which, I was all for it, and I liked how he looked early on, but I'm an idiot.
I have to admit that I was for it, too. I thought it was the best of a bad situation. You have a veteran quarterback who is a former MVP, and at the very least, he's going to make you interesting.
Right. And
I was wrong.
And it was compelling, but
I was wrong.
How many people said this is a terrible idea?
You think a lot of people thought it was a terrible idea to bring in Cam Newton?
Yes, because he wasn't like you need a real actual quarterback, not a 5 years past his prime.
Yeah, I think
MVP.
that's hindsight though.
At that point, you were talking yourself into Jarrett Stidham somewhat. There are people saying
during
the
course of that year, I wanted to see Jarrett Stidham.
Oh, I mean, I just mean leading into it.
I can't be a liar and say that before the season started. When they made that move, I still remember when Fred called me. I remember it was a Sunday night.
Yeah.
Fred called me and said, "We're signing Cam Newton. Get a piece ready.
Yeah.
Get an analysis piece ready." And I remember writing it, and I was writing it with enthusiasm. Like I was really thinking, "Wow!" I thought enthusiasms. What am I? That what brings me joy. I was immediately on board with that move. I can't be a fraud and say, no, what were they thinking? He's way past. I didn't think he was way past his prime. But I thought he was coming off a couple injuries. He'd be fine.
If you just want to put it under the umbrella of no plan after Brady, okay? So that was a bad decision.
No plan after Brady. Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. Putting Matt Patricia and in charge of the offense this year, which
coaching's coaching.
Nobody was on board with.
Right.
I mean, like nobody.
Yep.
So now you've got a couple of these that were essentially major decisions, and I think most decisions for football teams, at least the ones that I pay attention to, sorry, Deuce, have to do with the offense. These are the what defensive decision are they going to make that's going to blow up in their face? They're going to go 6-2 stack monster for the entire game, goal line defense for the entire game. No, it's
6-2 stack monster.
That
That was very well done.
Well, Ampipe did it, and they almost pulled it off.
Ampipe almost beat Walnut Heights.
Walnut Heights. They got a golf team for the boys and the girls.
Those rich, you know what?
Right. Let's not do the rest of that
Right
speech.
moves.
But the idea that this team is suffering now because of major decisions made by Bill Belichick, that's unfortunate. And I still think he is a great coach. You know, we referenced that Buffalo game earlier where if there is something to level the playing field for both teams, Paul, you said this a couple of years back, and I couldn't agree with you more, and I thought it was poignant the way you put it. I'll butcher it now. But you said in a game like that where something, levels the playing field and takes talent off the page, you'll take a Bill Belichick coach team every single time. If there's something that equalizes the two teams and it becomes like a neutral toss-up, then Bill Belichick's team is going to win that game.
Yeah.
And I still think
he's that guy.
I still think he's that guy. The problem is very few of those games pop up on your schedule.
Right.
Sometimes you'll go an entire season or two without a great equalizer game due to weather or injury or something like that. So instead what we're left with is a team that has been struggling for a few years now based on what I would argue are two major decisions made by the head coach affecting your offense and affecting the ability for this team to go out and win a lot of games.
Yeah, and I mean, but I would just also, and totally true, but I would also add, like, this isn't a team that's playing like a well-coached football team. And that's a point I made a couple weeks ago, and it's starting to pick up some steam. It's, not beating yourself, not making continual pre-snap errors, seeming like you're all on the same page, developing players. Do we see players developing right now? Not a lot, a couple, and you reached a point in 2019, 2020 where those bad drafts caught up to you and you needed 19, 20, these drafts to be critical for these guys to step up and play. Some of them have, and got to give credit to Marcus Jones and even Uche who's come on this season, but not enough. And I think that's where I live. And so when Bill says blame me, okay, like he's in control. Like I don't know why people just are obsessed with killing Matt Patricia, who was put into this position. I mean it's Bill. If you're gonna look at the product and criticize somebody, he's the one that put it together. He's who he asked to be criticized for it. So do what he tells you.
Yes.
I mean, he's the one.
Right. You're not being unfair when you point to Bill because he has said time and time again.
Right.
It all comes back to me. Before I bring up Michelle from South Carolina, just a quick primer here.
We heard the song yesterday.
Cookiegate 2022. Michelle from South Carolina sent a batch of cookies to the Zolak and Bertrand show.
Yeah, minus one very important member of that show.
She said another special gift from me was on its way. Michelle, first things first, I left yesterday. I will not be back until January 3rd. So is this something that is going to require me? If you did, in fact, send that package and it has arrived, is this perishable? Is it something that I should go back into the station during vacation to pick up?
No, you don't. But you're going to have a few packages, so you'll be very happy.
Wow. Well, I'll thank you in advance, Michelle. I won't ask you to spoil this surprise, but on to
nice package, Bear.
Thank you. On to the Patriots Bengals today. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I don't know. A few people are saying that they don't expect the defense to win the game today. But, okay, so if that's not the case, I'm really not expecting the offense to win the game. So, I don't know. I was hoping to see a couple of different packages for the defense today and a much better edge rush. Bauer's a different quarterback. He can run, and he's a much bigger guy. So I am worried about how we're going to defend him and what kind of packages we're going to be able to throw at him. But I do want to touch on the Belichick for a second. We have been blaming the coaches and the players and Mac Jones's mental capacity on the field where if you're going to be a leader and a quarterback in this league, you've got to, and him as a rookie, I still consider him a rookie because I don't think he's proven anything. And it's his fault and their fault, and we all understand that. But Bill, when has he ever let the players get away with things like this and not taking things into consideration in putting these players on the bench. And I know we're really low on players that can take the field, but I am willing to give him a chance for next year and let this year be a wash, and it didn't work. How much of this do you think that he is willing to admit that this was a disaster and fixes it for next year and really does look for a coordinator and does make the move with Patricia back to the defense and really says, I effed up and I got to fix this in order, one, to keep his job, and two, I don't know. He has to fix the team. How much of that do you think he's willing to do?
All right,
and
Michelle.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Thank you very much. First of all, and Pat Perillo, who is
Patty P.
Closely related to Paul Perillo, has stepped out to fulfill his flagship duties here. But Paul never said he expects the offense to go out there and win the game. That's the difference between a key and an expectation. And I agree with Paul. We all have, I think, very obvious things about, defense, got to get after Burrow, got to blitz Burrow, you got to team the Bengals, I don't expect, necessarily that's going to happen, but it's key. And I don't think Paul expects the offense to go out there and, look reinvigorated, reassimilated.
Look at what we found. We can do it.
Yeah, but if they're going to win, that is going to be key. So let's just clear that up first.
I like how our keys usually feed into each other. And I mean, I would say I feel like our key is like the first step. If you don't really pressure Joe Burrow, you're going to get shredded. There's just a non-starter to win this game. So I think that's the first key is get him off the game a little bit. And then if you get that, okay, if you actually want to win it, then it's up to the offense. But, I think Michelle hit the point. It says, don't lie to us. We all watched that season. Don't try to tell us that this was actually promising year, and I think that's where people are willing to, all right, if Bill says that, and, then all right, we'll let you, figure it out again, maybe bring in Bill O'Brien, maybe rejigger the coaching staff a little bit and, try to find a new, I don't know. It's just, this team keeps reminding me of 2009 and, the teams that just wouldn't play the way he wanted them to play.
He can't get them to play
He can't push the buttons with this team. And, I do think he's earned enough trust to get, multiple chances at it. We're getting to a point where it's been a few years, but at the same time, I think he deserves the chance if he's willing to admit what we all see, which is that this hasn't worked this year. It's been a failure.
Yeah, it's.
So what have I missed, guys? We're talking about expectations and
so much you've missed. I can't even begin to recap what you've missed.
How do we save the Patriots?
Pretty much. And man, I don't think Bill O'Brien would necessarily be a mistake. Can we just get somebody new? Just a new voice with some new ideas, just something different.
Yeah.
It's a risk. I get it. Does Bill O'Brien come in here and fix this?
That's what frustrates me, Hardy, is I'd be fine with, it's better than telling me we're going to just try to run it back with what they have.
Oh, God,
but it's
no,
just
that
we're so
can't happen.
stuck in, we can only get guys who have been here. We've only get guys that know the system. I don't even know what the system is anymore. Why does it necessarily demand that Bill O'Brien come back to be the guy? Again, I would take him, but at the same time, I think I would be a little bit more intrigued if it was a different name from outside the box, that they said, hey, as much as we like Bill O'Brien, we want to go in an even newer direction. That would be even more exciting. Something has to happen. I don't care what it is, but something has to happen. And, if it's Bill O'Brien, fine, but something has to happen.
I think that not only do they need an offensive coordinator, actually named, I think that it'd be time to go out and get a good wide receiver, a true, bless you.
Yeah.
A true, wide receiver one.
Yeah.
I think that'd be amazing. And not just, in the draft, but I would actually go out and get one. Pay some money for one. And I know we've said this multiple times, and not a discounted one. Not one that, you could coach him up and be good. I want him to already to be great, you know?
Yeah, just real quick before the break, I think that Mac Jones is a critical year. You're going to have to decide on him on his 5th-year option after next season. So if you don't put the pieces around him next year to really see what he is, then you're going to have to make a decision blind going off of a similar type team. So I agree.
One call before the break. I don't want to keep Nick Baby Love hanging through the break. I wouldn't do that to you on any day, much less on Christmas Eve, Nick. So thanks for joining us. What's going on?
Let me just do this quick. I want to give you a Christmas present. Let me just do this drop quick, and then I'll make a statement.
Okay.
Hashtag, let me do it again.
All right.
Hashtag HPD. That's Hardy, Perillo, D-Train, DeSalt. Going back to college, dropping that knowledge with producer Matt on the Patriots app. Keep it locked with the guys. Hashtag HPD. How's that?
I like it. If we can work in Tamara next time, even better.
Yeah, well, no, I know that. I haven't, and please follow me on Twitter like everybody else, Tamara. It's a pleasure meeting you before. Obviously, I was thinking of hashtag. Boy, I can't even talk today.
No, that's all right, but that's how you get in. You have to follow him on Twitter.
HPTD would be cool too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
That's impressive,
But
Slice.
listen, I just want to say this, and this is really for Fred Kirsch and everybody. This show is the realest show out of all of them, and I'm talking about even the Sports Hub, EEI, the whole 9 yards. You guys keep it real. I'm not just blowing smoke. If it wasn't good, I would tell you. I think as somebody who is 70 years old and has never missed the game since Billy Sullivan bought the team in 1960. That's right, Tamara, if I'm saying your name right.
You are.
1960 when I was like 7 years old, whatever I was. I mean, the show's great, and I just want you guys to stay together. And, I love you. You got to stick up for yourselves. And, one last thing, the only time I get mad is when my man, D-Train, doesn't mention Holy Cross undefeated.
That's right.
So how about them apples?
I like it.
Anyway, God bless you guys, and happy holidays.
Same to you, Nick. Thanks so much for calling. Happy holidays to you, too. We'll step aside.
Nick Baby Love. Well, I don't need a nickname.
That's the greatest drop ever. Patriots Pregame Show, which is fueled by Dunkin. Oh, it's a good day for Dunkin. You know what? Any day's a good day for Dunkin', but especially game day. It's always game on with Dunkin'. Grab that coffee, the most important game day ritual. Best call for football is Dunkin', the official coffee of the New England Patriots. America runs on Dunkin'.
TouchView Interactive from the Yokers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, TouchView also offers a built-in PC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
$1 million for picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half of one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
Every play, every pass, every performance is perfected on the training field, producing critical data that's analyzed, measured, and studied. Acronis keeps that data safe and ensures it's there to use whenever and wherever it's needed.
Verizon, the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots. Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
When someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes,
oh no!
Replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
There's no season better than football season. And there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week. So head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Patriot Place is the region's #1 shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. Shop your favorites, including Vineyard Vines, Express, Olympia Sports, Petco, and more. Enjoy dining at one of our 19 restaurants, including 6 String Grill and Stage, Scorpion Bar, and Bar Louie. And don't forget about the entertainment. Explore your inner artist at Muse Paint Bar. Watch a movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, or grab a controller and start gaming at Helix Esports. For a complete directory listing, please visit patriot-place.com. Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
I think there's any need to throw more cautionary signs out there. My brain is not working.
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
Well, we better get to this one right away. Oh. Tamara's family
Oh my God.
is on the board here. I have no idea
You
who.
already heard it in her voice.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Oh my! Yes, you know how I love surprises. How we love surprises, Tamara.
Hi.
Man, guys, what a special treat you guys have because she's special to us. That's precious cargo sitting in one of those 4 seats that you guys have. So, Tamara, you know how we do it on your birthday.
You are not about to sing me happy birthday.
You girl, and you know how we gonna sing it too. So.
Oh my God, this is so embarrassing.
We ready?
ready.
All right, here we go. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Hey, hey, hey. Happy birthday to you. Hey, hey. Happy birthday, Tamara. Happy birthday.
I cannot believe this.
How old are you now?
30.
How old are you now?
30.
How old are you now? How old are you now?
30.
A little for this.
Wow.
30.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys. That was really sweet.
Happy birthday, Mr. Super proud of you. You're a role model to me. Love you so much.
Oh, thank you, LJ. Y'all gonna make me cry on here. Don't do this.
Well, this was very nice. Thank you so much for calling in. And, of course, we love Tamara, and we're happy to celebrate not only Christmas Eve, but her birthday Eve with her. So thanks for calling, everybody. Merry Christmas to you.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. God bless you guys. Have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. You too. Wow.
All right.
I cannot believe they just did that.
Who all did we hear from there?
That was, I think, multiple people on like 3-way, 4-way.
Okay.
It sounded like at least 5 people.
Multiple states. That's a family tradition
And
of
it's-
singing to you on your birthday?
So it's funny because when I went upstairs to do pregame prep talk with Fitzy, my mom was like, "Wait, you're not on the show? Like, when are you going back?" And I was like, "Why?"
What
she
do
was
you
like,
care?
She was like, "'Cause we're all watching." And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "Well, how long are you going to be?" And I'm like, I don't
Why
know.
are you
Maybe like
pressuring me?
they're still setting up. Maybe like 10, 15 minutes. She was just like, "Okay, well, like let us know when you're back on." And I'm like, "Okay." Like it was just really odd, and
Now you
that's
know.
not what I was expecting.
Who was the first voice that we heard?
My stepdad.
Okay, so why isn't he doing this job? Because
I
he's
know
got
he has a great radio voice.
He's got a better voice than anybody. It's
He
not.
does.
It's not about the voice anymore. But if it were,
He has
oh,
a great radio voice.
what? No kidding. Well, that was very nice.
You know who else has a great radio voice? And I say this
Go-
all the time.
Thank
Not
you.
you.
Oh.
Not you.
Oh.
Devon
Oh.
Godchaw. Have you heard him talk?
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh,
he has
yeah.
great radio voice.
Yes.
Get the base. Real quick, just Patriots inactives.
Inactives. What do we got?
Yeah, Jack Jones, Devontae Parker, Jalen Mills, Damian Harris, Riley Webb, Sam Robertson, Josh Bledsoe. You ain't
playing, guy.
All right.
Really, really sad
Jack
to have
Jones.
Jack Jones and Jalen Mills not active again. I think that
Yep.
not having that duo out in the field really hurts the Patriots secondary. I think
All the more reason to blitz. Yeah, just go
And
for
I think,
it.
And I think I feel bad for the defense. I feel like they continue to do their job and get the stops that they need, but it's hard for them to do that for four quarters when they're on the field the majority of the game because
Yeah.
the offense keeps going 3 and out.
Yeah.
So it's like
Time of
they're
possession
already-
again
they're
last
already
week.
playing-
I mean, it was better than the week before, but not by much. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still they're not on the field
Yeah.
nearly as much as the other team.
And it's like when you don't have the depth, when you have guys like that are on the inactive list, and they can't go out there and maybe sub out different guys, then the guys that are out there playing the full game are burnt out, and it's just I'm sad.
Thin depth. I mean, Marcus Jones again. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him
Yeah.
continue to get opportunities because I think he's sticky. He's just quick and he has an ability to stick with guys, even though he's not the biggest guy. But it's just unfortunate. Not a lot of depth there at cornerback.
So I guess we'll see a lot of Kevin Harris and Pierre Strong as well today with no Damian Harris again.
Do you like how I didn't back off of my Blitzboro thing, even with the inactives? It's like, we have a couple of guys missing the secondary that probably no, by all means, keep blitzing.
But and
you
I will
can't
say,
back off. No matter how bad your position might seem.
Yeah.
You gotta hold strong.
And we know that when they don't get pressure on the quarterback, then the secondary isn't able to get those takeaways. So
there you go.
hand in hand.
There you go. All right, let's go to Doug in Connecticut here. Doug, you're up next on the Patriots Pregame Show, fueled by Dunkin. What's up, Doug?
Hey, guys. Happy birthday and Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
I just had a quick question about Mac Jones. I'm starting to think that the scouting report before the draft was exactly right. Will adjust quickly to the NFL, limited upside, doesn't have a strong enough arm, and not overly athletic. So I'm confused why so many Patriots fans are putting everything on Matt Patricia when I still have serious questions whether we have the quarterback going forward.
Because you didn't learn anything about him this year. Look, you may not, but did you think that way in the middle of last season, in the middle of their 7-game win streak, that the Patriots they haven't found their quarterback, this rookie that was out there, and they were racking up win after win after win? Did you think that last year?
I'm not sure I could say that, but I still had my doubts that he had a strong enough arm.
Okay, but
last year.
they've thrown away a year of development for Mac Jones. Now, he hasn't played well on top of it, and if he were really that good, I think he would have been able to overcome whatever they threw at him with the new offensive game plan this year. But if he is just a middle-of-the-road quarterback, just a middle-of-the-pack NFL quarterback, that's still pretty good. And that is a guy that you can win with, even if he's not going to go out there and win you a Super Bowl by putting the team on his back. It's not time to just, in my opinion, just walk away from Mac Jones and say, he's not the guy. His arm's not strong enough. He can't make plays with his legs. He can't get it done. Based on this year? Yeah. I'm not going to base that on what I've seen this year. I don't think that's fair to Mac Jones. And he may not be the guy.
No, he probably gets another year.
Yeah.
Yes, I would think so. Probably.
Probably.
By the way, I saw
I don't know. I'm looking at the front page of the Globe Sports section, seeing stories about Bailey Zappi, and I'm sorry, that makes me wonder things. Right?
Who wrote the story?
Hold, please.
Okay.
And I feel like, to Paul's point, someone asked Bill in his press conference this week, like, is Mac Jones a starter for the rest of the year? And we were all like,
trying to win,
trying
to beat Cincinnati.
It was just a really odd question.
Oh, okay. Well, that means something.
That means something.
It's Jim McBride writing it. By the way, I saw 2 FedEx trucks on the way in today. They are out there. They are ready. FedEx ready for the holidays. Want to thank them for being part of the Patriots pregame.
FedEx got my packages to my family on time.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
They were ready.
They didn't mention it in the call. You missed the call from Tamara's family. Where
Oh,
they
I
sang
did.
Happy birthday.
I did. Yeah, I've been emailing with your mom a little bit the last week or so.
Boy.
So I missed the call.
Oh, boy.
Doffett is my bad.
I cannot.
I didn't give it away.
You didn't give it away. I will say, I did ruin like one surprise already. Well, not ruin, but like my mom was like scared to ruin it.
Yeah,
you know what it is?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying nothing.
Zip it.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I do know what you ruined.
Just once in my life, I would like to experience the outpouring of emotion and love that I'm pretty sure Tamara gets on a daily basis from her family. Just once.
Your whole family wouldn't call in from Michigan to sing you a song, Hardy?
I don't know that my birthday gets mentioned more than just like, oh, happy. Oh, that's
There
right.
was
That was today?
There was that year about 6 or 7 years ago that my mother called me on the 5th instead of the 4th.
What?
Well, my dad, who has been gone now for 9 years, he consistently called me the day after my birthday, March 31st.
Now, was that a funny thing?
A bit?
No, he thought it was March 31st. Rabo, happy birthday!
And I need to add that to my calendar.
Bravo!
I didn't even correct him after the first 10 years. You know, it's like once you move out and it's like it's gone, and then get the call from Dad the next day. I would expect it. I would expect it, and I would just say thank you. What are you doing today? And I wouldn't lie.
Yesterday.
I'd say, just kind of like a normal day, no big deal. But
Like it's
really
not my
appreciate the
birthday?
call. Yeah, like almost like you would. And not that I was doing anything on my birthday either. But okay.
So Mike, do you
Suck
have
it,
his birthday
Hardy.
written down in your little?
No, I
calendar?
don't. That's funny you brought that up. But my anniversary is the day after his birthday. March
So he's gonna
31st,
remember your birthday
so
now
I'll
because
always
of that.
think of you the night before my wedding.
Did you guys happen to see Texans-Titans game is
Yeah.
pushed
Thank
back an hour?
Thank God. Not
Wait,
us.
why?
Weather?
Power issues.
Wow.
I will say my power did go out a few times yesterday.
So
with all the wind and
I don't know if you saw the national weather map or the national weather stories this morning. It's pretty much
cold.
Everything east of the Rockies, like you're talking a full 2/3 of the country, if not more, deep freeze. Power. I have people down North Carolina. We're talking single-digit temperatures this morning. I mean, brutal cold. A lot of weather coming through all parts of the country. So where is that game?
Tennessee.
In Tennessee. Okay.
Yeah,
but it could be Texas, could be Tennessee. I mean, everywhere is just, suffering this Arctic blast right now east of the Rockies.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Cold.
It's at Tennessee. I mean, I know that the weather wouldn't impact it in Houston, but if there was it's a power outage issue, so that could have impacted an indoor place as well. But it's in Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't think the weather would in Houston. It's still cold. I think Houston's cold today.
I just think it's interesting how fast the weather changed. Like yesterday when I woke up, it was like 57 degrees at 6 a.m.
I know.
Yeah. And then
I got some errands done. It was so warm,
feel
and
it
then I was like, okay.
And then
it's
by
coming.
dinner time, I was like, how is it 30 degrees? It just dropped so quickly.
It's 30 in Houston.
Yeah.
Right now. Houston.
Wait, okay, speaking of sports people talking about weather, did you guys see that viral video on Twitter? with
the Iowa guy?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
I didn't see it.
You didn't see it? Basically, the sports guy was called in to do news, and it was everything you would expect seeing a sports guy
He was doing weather reports outside, and he was just pouting. Like I saw it on Good Morning America.
I saw a clip of it on the Today Show.
Yeah,
and
maybe it was one of those.
I don't know how good it was. I don't know if it's good enough for people to be gushing about it the way they are.
Do you think he should have gotten fired for that, or do you think it was just like tongue-in-cheek and they were having fun?
Maybe a bit of both. Maybe he pushed it a little further than they were comfortable with, but
I think he was just kind of having fun with it, not really.
Yeah, he's not wrong. It's like I'm a sports guy. There are no sports. Why on earth would I get the day off? No, why don't I come out here and stand in the elements
like
and do exactly what everyone is telling you not to do?
Yeah.
That's what he said at one point.
Yeah.
It's great. It's good. It's good. Let's talk to Deshaun in Virginia here on the Patriots Pregame Show. Deshaun, what's going on?
Hello, guys. How you guys doing?
Good.
Good. I just want to speak on the last caller, which is I think it's crazy how people keep implying about the fact that Mac Jones is this and Mac Jones is that. But like I said, the guy really had a great situation. I mean, like I said, it was amazing what he was able to do last season, even without having much pieces around him, despite actually having an offensive coordinator. Because if you actually look around, some of the guys that weren't doing very well at first study actually got a complete good system around them. Different coach, talented players like guys like Jalen Hurts. You look at Tua in Miami and stuff like that, or whatever. And then it also takes you back to even when we had Tom Brady. It just goes to show what he had to overcome. But we never really had the best roster. I mean, you go Sunday in and Sunday out, teams always had the better roster or whatever. as far as foundation-wise, we just had the better coach and the better quarterback. And it just goes to show you, right now, as the reason why we're so bad at times, whatever, at least for the most part, is because Mac Jones is not Tom Brady, of course, or whatever. So we need to surround him with the best possible situation that the New England Patriots can, so we have to see his full potential.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think that's only partly true. Like Deshaun says that they didn't have the better rosters, but they had the better quarterback.
Yes.
Seemed to work.
Yeah.
When you don't have the better quarterback, it's harder to make it work when you don't have as much talent.
I think a lot of people are reluctant to dissect a lot of this and talk about it in its full. Now, Deshaun obviously doesn't have a problem with it. In the off season, there's going to be a lot more discussion about this, obviously, with the team.
Will there ever be any nuance to the discussion, or will it just be Matt Patricia is the Antichrist and that's it?
We're not great with nuance.
No.
in this job.
No.
And it seems stupid and silly and redundant to always preface it, but I feel like in the case of Matt Patricia, I do feel compelled to kind of reiterate this. I like Matt Patricia. I think he is an interesting guy to talk to, and I think he is a smart guy, and I think he is a
I don't think there's any doubt.
I think he's a good football guy, and I've enjoyed, the one or two conversations I've had with him. I enjoyed, speaking with him. I think it would be a mistake to have him involved, in this football team going forward based on the way that it ended up this year. Now, if you want to move into something defensively, I think that is going to cause issues with other people who are on the defensive staff right now. Unless somebody leaves for another job, you've got other guys in other roles right now that causes a problem.
There's a chance that you lose some guys in the staff.
I would also argue that after he left that defensive coordinator position and Brian Flores took over, it didn't look worse. I mean, so what exactly are we doing? I feel okay, and I don't feel like I'm being a jerk and saying I don't want him anywhere near the offense next year, unless it's just coaching the offensive line or something like that. But you don't have to say he's the Antichrist to say no. There needs to be some major changes made because this year it just didn't work.
Well,
it just didn't work.
Could we maybe say, hey, you've lost Nick Caserio, you've lost Ernie Adams. Maybe you put Matt Patricia back into the consigliere up above role that he's not specifically on a position. Because I think that those are something we talk. Everybody's trying to divide up between Bill Belichick and Matt Patricia and Mac Jones and who's responsible. I mean, I think Caserio leaving and Ernie Adams leaving and Ivan Fears in quasi-retirement and Dante Scarnecchia in retirement and all that brain drain. I think that's part of it too, and it all needs to be reconfigured. And I agree with you on the point on the defense as somebody who felt that when he left, the defense got a lot more aggressive, and the Steve Belichick, Gerard Mayo defense has carried that over from maybe not as aggressive as Flores, but they certainly spin the dial a lot more than you saw with Patricia, which felt like play the odds, play coverage, rush three, wait for the other team to make a mistake.
I'm with Mike on Patricia. I think back to where he was 2 years ago. When he came back from Minnesota, he was more of an advisor, and I think that's where you sort of look to fill that role with Ernie Adams missing.
Okay. Let's go to Jose in Texas. Jose, thanks for joining us here. What do you got?
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Happy birthday, Tamara.
Thank you.
You guys brought up a good point a couple of weeks ago about Duggar making those flashy plays. I think we really saw it when he jumped that route and with that pick six. I had to go back all the way to the Cleveland game and see when he did that scoop and score to see when he was relevant again. You guys think we're too high on Duggar? You think he's just a mid-level safety?
I think he's a good player.
It's just feast or famine sometimes. It's like he makes a big play or he gets toasted in coverage. I think he's a solid player. I just don't think that he's a superstar, a budding superstar yet. He's just been too inconsistent. I mean, I think he could be a really good player. I don't know about superstar, but I think he could be a really good player. Has he done enough right now where you say you've got to retain this guy? You drafted him in the second round. I honestly don't know. I don't know if he's made that. He's got one more year in his contract, and we'll see.
Yeah, and I think he's another one of those guys that plays, to me, better moving forward than backward. I think when he's at or around the line of scrimmage, he can be a valuable player. I like Duggar. I don't think that he's any more than a good player at this stage, but I think he's a physical guy, a really good tackler. I think he does a lot of things well.
Yeah. Billy in Arkansas. No, excuse me. Russell in Arkansas has a question about Bill O'Brien. Says, do you guys believe that he's likely making his return to New England? And if we lose today, does the team get hit with the Foxborough flu and guys start getting shut down for the remainder of the year?
I think you're already seeing it. Jalen Mills, Damian Harris. I mean, Damian Harris been off with a thigh bruise for like 4 weeks.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And the Bill O'Brien thing definitely seems to have some legs.
If you're asking me today, I think he'll come back.
All right.
But I don't, I haven't talked to Bill O'Brien, so I don't know.
You do know him, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys talked
He likes
about
to
this.
make fun of me.
I don't know if you guys talked about this when I was gone, but Joe Cardona not playing. the rest
Yeah,
of
we
the
didn't. So
season.
Tucker Addington in at long
yeah.
snapper.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like one of those things where you don't think about it
Yeah,
until all of a
until
sudden
it
he
happens.
just rifles one out
Yeah.
of the end zone.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's an issue free. But they also, brought up the other kicker as well, Vizcaino. So, I think they're continuing to try to figure out what's going on with the kicking. Jake Bailey practice this week was not activated, so I think we'll get another Pilardi outing today.
Did we get any clarity on why the ball was snapped when it was on the?
Not really.
Nothing
It was kind
official.
of just
week?
like
Nothing official.
a clock misunderstanding of when the play clock
They
was
thought
starting.
the clock was going to be reset, but
Did
it
the
wasn't.
up back call for the snap?
I
at
don't.
the wrong time?
I don't know why Cardona snapped it when he did. Evidently, they weren't ready when the ball was snapped because the play clock had been reset, to which they used that as an opportunity to try to milk as much time off the clock as they could. But unfortunately, Cardona did not get that message and thought the play clock was winding down and snapped it.
Yeah, I don't think it was snapped at the right time based on seeing a couple of linemen were turned around facing the punter when the ball was snapped, which in terms of an alignment issue.
Jonathan Vilma, I thought, right away immediately saw Jabril Peppers in position, 25 yards behind the line, 20 yards behind the line.
Yeah, he was.
The reason he got there so fast to get the ball was because he immediately started chasing when he realized that the ball had been snapped.
Yes, that was not great. Did one of you guys have a musical question? I think it was a trivia question.
Matt.
Oh, yeah, Matt does.
Morel.
Okay, so has
for you.
everyone heard this?
How did this come up?
I don't know, but yeah,
Did my notepad one when he walked in.
He had to cover up his notepad. I've been able to think of nothing
I think
else.
you'll get it.
Is it trivia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you'll get it.
I think. Well,
You
can
should
we
get
do it? Can we do
Yes.
it now?
It's up to him.
Do it
4
now.
years ago today, 1988.
How many? Oh, okay. All right, 88. Yeah.
Power Ballad spent 3 weeks as #1 on the billboards.
And this week was the first week?
Came out today in 1988. Song was released.
Tip of the spear power ballads.
Is it?
Like we're not into the 90s, we're not into Black Album.
Released today in
88.
1988 and spent 3 weeks
Okay.
at #1.
Okay, so
This
it's.
is like-
I'm thinking it's got to be a Christmas power ballad. Is it? No, I was going to say Wham! Last Christmas.
Oh, not a power ballad. No, this is legit. This is a metal band that slowed it down and affected middle school dances across the country in the mid 80s. I know mine.
You are so young. I hate all of you.
I don't know. Every rose has its thorn.
There
have
it
no
is.
idea.
And there it is. You were resigned, and you got it.
I knew he would get it,
Wow.
and
Wow.
I'm gonna make fun of myself.
Total guess.
So my first guess was Home Sweet Home.
That's a good guess too.
Okay, and Matt gave me a thumbs up and a little nod.
Yeah.
Good guess, young Paulie. Good job. And then my second guess was Every Rose Has Its Thorn. So when I immediately thought of that song, I said, "There's no way Hardy's not getting this.
Oh well.
There's no way he's not getting it."
I kind of needed two guesses too because I immediately thought it was something Christmas related, but I got it on the second guess.
No, you got it on the first guess.
Okay. All right.
Power ballad.
Yeah, it's a-
Like Last Christmas, not a power ballad.
And by the way, last Christmas, I just this dawned on me this year. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away.
Why would you be even thinking about it the next year?
Yeah.
Well,
that's why
not only
this
that,
year,
a
guess
heart cannot be regifted. If I give you my
Oh.
heart, I mean, I'm just saying.
Chess. Again, chess.
Well,
And
I'm
we're
sa-
all playing checkers. Hardy's playing chess.
I'm saying I love you, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay,
I love you.
you. The next day, you gave my love to somebody. How do you do that? You can't. You can say, the very next day, you told me you don't accept the gift. I mean, which doesn't.
I noticed you waited till the next day because, it was Christmas.
Right. It's very, very strange.
Do you have someone special this year you might want to give it to? Someone else?
No,
and
I
why
mean,
do you have to give it away on Christmas every year? Like, what
That's
if you're just not really seeing anybody at Christmas? Which,
What about summer fling or
I mean,
something?
if you think back to your time.
I see. This year I'll give it to somebody special. It's like this year I just no. You turns out you're not special. Thought you were.
Right.
It's hoping.
So
it's not a great
How do we even
song.
know it is referring to the heart? It could be it.
Yeah. It.
Because
What? Oh.
Well, I mean, it does say heart. I gave you my heart. The very next day, you gave it away.
Okay.
This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to. I think it's implied that we're talking about the heart. Come on.
But Morel is.
Let's go.
Morel is saying it could.
Trying to derail us.
He could. It could refer to the nookie that you're giving away.
Right.
Right.
You did it all, and you did it all.
But how would you give the nookie and then they
for the
give the
nookie.
nookie away? Like, once you give the nookie, you
At
you
this
gave
stage
it.
of my life, I would not do it all for the. I would do it all for a cookie,
Ugh.
but not the
Oh.
nookie.
Chef's kiss, Marty.
Oh.
Chef's kiss. But you do have to think about it, right? Like if you're like in that high school age there, maybe you're 15, 16,
Sure.
17. You get approaching Thanksgiving and you don't really have anything going, you shut it down.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to.
You shut it down. You're not giving anything away at Christmas. You wait till after the holiday. Matter of fact,
Keep
if you
your
really
options open for New Year's.
you really want to take it another step, if you don't really have anything going, you get past Valentine's Day before you even think about it.
Yeah.
He's right.
Mhm.
When he's right, he's right.
Keep your options open.
Hey, Pats fans, I'm here to tell you about NFL All Day, where all your favorite Patriots highlights become digital video collectibles. What are they called?
Moments.
Not only can you buy and sell them on a secure marketplace full of thousands of NFL fans, you can use them to compete in epic game day challenges. Check it out and find some moments from all your favorite Pats players on NFLAllDay.com.
TouchView Interactive from the Yokers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, TouchView also offers a built-in VC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
$1 million for picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half a one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
Every play, every pass, every performance is perfected on the training field, producing critical data that's analyzed, measured, and studied. Acronis keeps that data safe and ensures it's there to use whenever and wherever it's needed.
Verizon, the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots. Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
When someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes,
Oh no.
replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
There's no season better than football season. And there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week. So head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Patriot Place is the region's #1 shopping, dining, and entertainment destination. Shop your favorites, including Vineyard Vines, Express, Olympia Sports, Petco, and more. Enjoy dining at one of our 19 restaurants, including 6 String Grill and Stage, Scorpion Bar, and Bar Louie. And don't forget about the entertainment. Explore your inner artist at Muse Paint Bar. Watch a movie at Showcase Cinema Deluxe, or grab a controller and start gaming at Helix Esports. For a complete directory listing, please visit patriot-place.com. Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
Because it doesn't have to do with what's going on your football field.
You know what?
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
See what I'm saying now? Bridgestone, official tire of the New England Patriots, is proud to partner with Sullivan Tire, New England's headquarters for quality Bridgestone tires. Visit sullivantire.com to find a location near you. That was my lyrical epiphany. In addition to Wham! Last Christmas, the Mighty Mighty Bosstones, the impression that I get, I'm like, why is he saying that he never had to knock on wood? You've never knocked on wood in your whole life? No, the whole song is about being tested, and being put in the face of grave danger. And Dickie Barrett is singing, I've never had to, face this ultimate challenge. Knock on wood. He's not saying...
He could be. You could be right.
He's not saying, I've never had to knock on wood.
Is it a comma?
It's a comma. Wordsmith. Writer.
No one's ever called me that.
Words are his... Like Tony Maz says, words are my business, Hardy. I've never had to.
He doesn't really say that, does he?
Yes, he does.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's insufferable.
He certainly is.
He's saying, I've never had to. Knock on wood. That was my epiphany. I finally got it. 25 years.
You could be right.
I am right.
I always looked at it as another thing. I
should ask
I
Dick.
told you guys off air what I always thought the meaning was. And I'm the worst in terms of interpreting, like, the symbolism behind. Like, I'm sure you have every song you like, and what he's saying is blah, 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 blah. I was always the guy in the back of that lit class that had no idea what anyone was talking about.
Yeah.
And I would, like, reread the book, and I was like, I don't see it. What did I miss?
Well, that's what's great about music is it's just a thing that people like and that they can listen to and enjoy.
Well, that's me. I just...
Oh, my God.
Wow. that went right over my head. That was awesome.
I mean, yeah,
and stuff.
Obviously.
And stuff.
And that's all you can ask
things
for.
And Tereshtazen and such as.
They don't have maps.
I am like that with music, books, movies. I'm a complete moron. I'll sit there and watch it, and some of you are like, well, the symbolism of the briefcase in Pulp Fiction is the... I'm like, I never thought of that. I thought it was just a briefcase.
Do you... So you
It's got
don't?
his soul
I
in
figured
it.
you definitely... Because you're pretty... I mean, I'm not making funny. This is not one of my typical shots at you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You're pretty... I think you're pretty deep with that kind of stuff.
I just like...
Symbolism and...
I like I love to read. I love movies, but I don't look for, like, the deeper meaning in a lot of stuff. Songs, yes, but that's like 3 minutes. I can handle that.
Yeah.
In a movie, like, I never figure out the ending of a mystery or, like, figure out, oh, he was Kaiser Soze all along. I'm never that guy. I don't figure things out ahead.
Well, I guess I can't watch... I guess I can't watch that movie now. Just watching some of the early shots that we have of the videos, I do think, and there's the new long snapper, Mike?
Tucker
Addington, replacing Joe Cardona.
Another lacrosse player.
It did look like the wind could have an effect on the kicking game. I thought Miles Bryant struggled to handle one of the punts there. And I do see, it looks pretty still and calm right there, but I did see with Bryant and Jabril Peppers had an undershirt hanging out under their uniforms, and they were blowing around a little bit in the wind. So I don't think it's going to be a wind that's going to necessarily, like Buffalo last year, where you can't throw the ball into the wind.
Mike Reese saying, too, Folk concluded his warm-up with a long of 50. Usually tries a final attempt of 58. So they're accommodating that the wind a little bit.
Pierre Strong. Yeah, it doesn't – I mean, it looks reasonably calm. It just looks cold. Like, you're just looking at the guys, and they look cold.
Yeah.
I'll be on the lookout for any Bengals that look like Kurt Warner, circa 2008, sorry, when the Cardinals got off the bus and immediately turned around and went right back on the bus.
All right, let's continue here. We got a couple of more emails, and then we'll get to our over-unders here on this Patriots pregame social, which is fueled by Dunkin. Merry Christmas to all, says Joe in Florida. The bottom line is winning cures all ill. Certainly hope the knuckleheads do not drive Bill out. What knuckleheads? I mean, the only one's going to drive him out is the Crafts. I don't think.
Or, like, his coaching. Like, if he gets driven out, it's going to be because of his performance.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to win, like, 13 games and someone say, you know what, I don't want you here anymore.
I guess. I don't see him being driven out by anything other than himself.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay.
It'd be his fault.
All right. He's on. Joe says, I'm on Team Bill because the team with which I grew up looked like the final play from. All right, thanks for the email, Joe. I'm not doing this. I got a headache. We'll go to.
They've had 2 of those plays under Belichick. I don't recall any of those plays under Dick McPherson.
Kyle says, you think the Patriots should be starting Zappy today? See if we need to open up the QB competition for next year. I think you can open up the quarterback competition, but I don't think it's going to do any good to do it today.
Yeah,
I don't think they should do it today.
I heard from someone.
You heard from someone
who spoke to someone. Someone on the team. Someone who spoke to someone on the team who said that, Zappy looked good. We had like 7 plays. Yeah. Which if you know what you're looking at, you could figure this out on your own. I cannot by watching it. But in terms of the playbook, you could assume that the playbook was shrunk considerably for Bailey Zappi. But the player who spoke off the record to someone else who told me off the record said, it's he looked
like
good,
a reasonable take.
And it seems reasonable. And I don't think you can have a real quarterback competition unless you're in camp and you give both guys the same playbook and say, all right, go to work.
Yeah, I think there's a chance that they go into the offseason with thought that those 2 guys right there on the screen, Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, will get opportunities to compete for the job. I think it's a little different when you have a second-year guy and a third-year guy as opposed to a second-year guy and a rookie.
Yeah. I just don't think you get anything out of benching Mac Jones at this point.
Not today.
Like it's just
not today.
I mean, if things go badly the next couple of weeks and, you just want to give – but I think as we said this week on PU, I mean, you sit him, you're going to lose him, and he's still the best option. There's no question. I mean, I think they need to finally – show maybe a little bit of something here over these last few games. That'd be nice to see.
Yeah, I just don't know. Like, I'm not worried about losing them because I've seen a lot of guys, like, how did Jimmy Garoppolo play with everything that Shanahan did to him? Every time he got back in the game, he played well because if you have talent, you're going to play well. If you get lost, quote unquote, then probably part of it is your ability. Mm-hmm. And I still think there's very little attention being paid to Mac Jones's performance. It's all about why, which I think is a big part of the reason that his performance has suffered. But I think we've gotten a few calls today in this pregame show wondering if he's as good as we thought. But I don't think that's a majority opinion. I think most people look at it in different ways. Are you looking at the lyrics for the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones?
Yeah, and I don't know if it should be a comma with never had to, comma, knock on wood. I think it's never had to, and then in parentheses, knock on wood.
Parentheses,
and
geez.
Then at the very end of the song, he says, never had to, I better knock on wood. That's like that's your big tip-off. That's your big tip-off there at the end of the song. 25 years.
I don't think
I've
you're
been
wrong.
hearing it wrong.
I heard it wrong, too.
But I like the song even better now. I loved Big Boss Tones guy.
Oh, you're really now?
I got some friends that are.
Now, that was kind of dickish. That was a little bit. Oh, are you really now?
Really?
I don't think that is accurate in any way, shape, or form.
Somebody answered one of my
I don't think I could tell you another Mighty Mighty Boss Tone song.
There's the one from Clueless. They were in Clueless.
They do to me, I am not a Kiss guy, but they do a cover of Detroit Rock City that blows away the Kiss original version. And somebody answered my Twitter question this weekend with, the question was, what's your best musical gift you ever received?
Oh.
And someone said they got tickets for the Kiss cruise. And that was awesome. I said, that sounds like a freaking nightmare twice over. Number one, it's all Kiss related. Number two, It's a cruise. Gross on both counts.
Could I chime in with a quick story?
I wish
we
you
have
would.
like VHS camcorder Christmas with young 4th grade Mike Dussault. My uncle gave me a harmonica, and so for the rest of the video you just hear in the background, ruining the whole Christmas. And then all of a sudden I pop up, little chubby overweight 4th grade Deuce. I can play the beginning of Silent Night.
Oh,
so
that's
embarrassing.
adorable.
I think we need that. I think we need that on one of the next 2 pregame shows. I don't know about you, and he has it.
I do.
9-year-old Mike Dussault honking on the bobo.
Just playing Silent Night, no problem. I'm a natural. Got it with my ear.
Do you go? Never had one lesson.
Exactly.
Do you see your father in the
my
background
dad's
just filling up the Scotch glass?
My dad's taping, and he's looking at my uncle going, "No, great present, dog, great present." Because that's what you're gonna listen to.
I remember my cousin got drums once from somebody. My aunt and uncle made fun of that person who gave my cousin drums. Oh, forever.
Yeah, I'm sure. Merry Christmas, guys. Yvonne in Toronto. Yvonne. I'm gonna go with Yvonne. In Toronto. I agree with the caller about with Floyd from Michigan. Bill will be known as the greatest coach ever, but he's been a mediocre coach the past 3-4 years. Same issue, no solutions. I'd like to see fresh, new creative schemes, college influence plays, since that is the direction of the game. Let both Mac and the coaches go. Time to get rid of all the dysfunction. That's from north of the border in Toronto.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's harsh. That's harsh. But I think if you're going to run this properly, and if nothing else, I think the Kraft family has proven that they know how to run an organization properly, right? You evaluate what happened and what has been happening, and everything is on the table. You don't just say, well, I know that he's the best coach in football, so I'm not even going to look at him. You have to look at why the performance and figure out all the different elements, and then make your decisions accordingly. And they're not easy ones. It's part of being in charge.
Shall we do the over-unders, gentlemen?
Shall we?
It's time for this week's edition of Over-Unders.
You're over me? When were you under me?
Matt Morrell, what happened last week?
Everybody went 3-3 last week.
That is incorrect.
Oh, no,
I told you.
Dang it.
Every week.
You did tell me that.
We fixed this.
Frickin' week.
So Mike and Paul went 5-1.
I was reading the wrong sheet.
And Hardy went 4-2. It's a good week for over-unders last week.
I have the right numbers.
Jeez.
Okay, go ahead.
But the season totals are correct?
Season totals are correct. Paul, 46-38. Mike, 45-39. Hardy, 44-40.
All right.
Still very close.
Wow, with 3 weeks left.
I know.
Well, maybe more with the playoffs.
You never know.
The weird thing is in the PU picks, I'm one behind Paul too. Just totally different sets of things. So
Crazy.
I'm always.
I printed the sheet about 4 times now.
I know. I was like, that's not right.
That's awesome. All right.
Mac Jones passing yards, 257.5.
All right, Mike Dussault,
257 and a half. The weather today, that feels just a bit high to me. I'm going to go under on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to take the under as well. I just don't like the cohesiveness of the passing game.
That too.
I would love to play contrarian here to do a little catch-up, but I can't. I have to go under 257 and a half.
Joe Burrow passing yards, 218.5.
However, I will take the over on Joe Burrow. I think they have the weapons to use, and I think as long as it doesn't look like I think there's wind on the field. I don't think it looks like it's going to be too bad.
I mean, I could see both quarterbacks being right around 230, 240 today. If Mac Jones has a good day and Joe Burrow has
terrible day?
If whatever. I mean, 218 and a half seems low. I'm going over.
Yeah, I gotta go over, especially with the state of the Patriots cornerback group right now. They're banged up.
Well, they are going to be blitzing a lot. So that's right.
Joe Mixon rushing yards, 60.5.
Big ground game today. Yes, I'll go over.
I don't know. I'm going to roll the dice a little bit on this one and go under on it.
Yeah, I'll take the over as well. I think that they could have a lead in the second half and play a little Buffalo.
Hunter Henry receiving yards, 26.5.
Ooh, you know what? I'm gonna go over on this one. Some issues with health, Jacoby and Thornton. I think it'll just maybe put Henry a little bit more in the spotlight. So I think he'll go over 26-5.
I'm going to go with Mike. I think they hit one of those plays down the seam and get a chunk play once. And that's enough.
Well, yeah, that's all it would take, or, whoever's covering him to spontaneously combust 5 yards off the line of scrimmage, or, nearly drop dead of some phantom ailment. I don't know. I don't know that I can count on that. They haven't been going to him all year, and when they do, it's like, oh,
he's back.
I'm going to go under, and I hate to see it. I hate to go. I hate to go something I'm going to be rooting to lose on. Yeah, but I'm going under. I want them to find Hunter Henry today. I want it to happen, but I'm going to go under.
Total first half points, 19.5.
Paul.
I'm going to take the over. It's just a really low number. I'm going to take the over.
Yeah, I mean, is it reasonable to think this game could be 14-10 at the half? Sure, I'm going over.
Hold on a second. Is this the gentleman that was in Las Vegas? He showed it absolutely. And I apologize for not knowing his name. I see Patriots going over to Jerry Edmond. This guy, hats off to Mr. Kraft for bringing him here for the game, but that's above and beyond. The restraint that he showed in the stands with that lunatic woman
hugs from everybody
screaming at him, and the reaction of the Patriots players tells you just how impressive he was to stand there and take that.
Yeah, Uche had reached out to him. I mean, everybody that saw that video come out this week. So just nice to have a positive little thing that got taken from just an absolutely gut punch game to see, a fan standing strong in the face of that. I think a lot of us have been there, and it's hard to do. I don't know what I would have done with that lady yelling in your face, but really cool seeing him, big smile on his face.
Yeah, and I mean, we should celebrate Jerry, and we should just do everything we can. That's awesome. He's walking on the field with the owner, but the hate that I feel for those two Raiders fans, like those people, hate's a terrible word to use.
Yeah. Strong word, but accurate in this case.
Strong word, but oh God, do I despise those two. And I know exactly who you are, you two.
Yep.
I know.
You lived in Vegas.
You don't know me. I know you better than you know yourselves. I bet I could pick the neighborhood they live in. I can tell you what they do for a living. I know everything about those two, and I can't stand either one of them.
Typical
God,
Karen
you
and
know
Douglas
those people.
right there. Typical Karen and Douglas.
I just would have loved to see what her reaction is now watching this guy, walk on the field with see what you did now. This guy's, I mean, and give credit to the Raiders too. The Raiders are saying he can come back. They're going to treat him to a concert or another game or the Pro Bowl, whatever he wants. Put him up, flight and everything.
Yeah. So when you see these ugly incidents happen in the stands, and you say how could you ever do that's how.
Right.
That's how. If that was the guy in that gentleman's face, I have to think that saved it. It was the woman.
Yeah.
And no one's going to hit a woman, hopefully. Not to get back to Dickie Barrett, but knock on wood. No one would, haul off and slug a woman in a situation like that. I said slug.
She was all up in his face.
So where are we on the first half points?
First half points.
Hardy and Paul
Sorry,
over.
we got started. I'm going to go under, and I'm trying to make a move here a little bit, but I don't think it's crazy.
They're all cheating. I get it.
It's crazy to think that this game might be under.
I cheated on Hunter Henry. You're cheating on the total points.
Yeah.
Now Paul has a chance to cheat. He will go last on the final, which is
41.5.
Stay loose.
I have the over.
No one asked you. You get to go last, I said.
Oh, my bad.
What are we doing? Sorry.
Do you want me to go under so that you can go over?
No. You can do whatever you want. I mean, I already picked my score.
I'm going over.
I just go by whatever the score is that I picked.
I'm going over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over too.
We're all going over.
Jeez, I guess you don't have to worry about trying to cheat when you're leading.
Oh, you had to throw that in there too. Just
Did
rub
you
our faces.
Did
in
you
it a
hear
little
the Barney Fife sniffle there?
I like to call it the Fred Kerr sniff.
Yeah, well,
the PU sniff.
remarkable similarities between Barney Fife and Fred Kirsch.
There are. You're not lying.
And I celebrate them both. They're two of my favorite characters on this earth. All right, let's talk to Paulie Paul about what he's got for us here when it comes to the getting inside the numbers for this game today. Paul, what do you have?
Yeah, well, I have a key data point presented by Demand Science, and it's going to involve somebody that we've seen a lot of in these pregame warm-ups. Right now we're looking at defense, but it's going to be on the offense, and it's going to relate to my key to the game, Mike Dussault. You're not paying attention. I want to make sure I have your full attention.
Sorry, Marcus Jones.
Ramondre Stevenson needs 86 yards to crack the 1,000-yard mark, and if he gets it today against Cincinnati, he would become the first Patriots back to reach the century mark since
Corey Dillon.
Was it Stephen Ridley?
I don't know.
Blount.
LeGarrette Blount, who had 1,161 back in 2016. So Stevenson has been, the lone back. He'll be the lone back again. Well, the main back today. I know Kevin Harris and Peter Strong will be active as well. So I think he has a really good chance to get there. If not this week, then next week. And, it has been a few years. It has been since 2016.
6 years.
Now, they always spread the carries, which is, I think last year, Harris and Stevenson were probably both, 500 plus, both of them.
Yeah, probably in that.
So
they were in and out.
It is a little deceiving that they haven't had one since 16, but give Ramondre Stevenson the credit. He's getting very close to what I would consider the benchmark for production for an NFL running back.
I would say this: the Patriots almost need someone to be injured and one of the key guys to be out in order to have a featured back week in and week out. But Ramondre Stevenson has earned that right based on the way he's played this year. And I think a lot of these things, I'm like, so what? 1,000 yards, it doesn't mean anything. It's an arbitrary number. No, it hasn't happened in 6 years. And I like LeGarrette Blount as a back. Ramondre Stevenson doesn't remind me of LeGarrette Blount.
No, he has talent.
Yeah. You can't just let me say something nice about somebody without crapping all over someone else. So I will say this. I'd be happy for Ramondre today, and I will make an exception. I will say, yes, it actually means something today for a variety of reasons. If he goes for 86 and hits 1,000 yards, I think it would be a good story for this Patriots team today.
Yeah, I would agree, and that is my key data point presented by Demand Science.
That's a good one, Paul.
Yeah.
I like that one today.
Just to highlight, too, 1,295 yards. Overall, just the work he's done in the passing game, too. He's been, not a lot of bright spots on Patriots offense this year, but certainly Ramondre Stevenson has, really been great. And just to highlight the things he does when there's nothing there and the ability to break tackles in the backfield. And, I think he's gotten them into a lot of valuable positions when they're, look like their backs are against the wall. Go back to, last week with that first carry from like the 2-yard line, getting him out of there. He's had some huge game kind of defining carries this year.
Now, if we're being honest, James White, for all intents and purposes, ran for over 1,000 yards, probably a couple of times. A lot of those receptions were glorified runs.
Yeah,
if we're being honest, but they don't go down that way, so we can't count those, right?
No, but he also didn't have this kind of production. He didn't have, even receiving, he didn't have, probably didn't have very many 1,200-yard from scrimmage seasons, if any.
He had to share the ball with, a lot more guys, too. He had Julian Edelman and Rob Gronkowski that were out there playing at the same time. So.
Yeah, if I'm just looking at, the yards from scrimmage leaders,
I got
Josh Jacobs is way up there. In Derrick Henry, he's just sort of looking at some of these guys: Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Aaron Jones, and then Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good year.
It's good
I like Stephon Diggs, 1,296. He's right ahead of Stevenson. 1,296 -3 rushing.
Wow. James White's best year was 2018. He had 1,176 yards total yards of offense. Doesn't look like he ever. 425 yards was his highest. Receiving, rushing, same thing. The high that year, 751. So that was White's best year.
Yeah. Was that the year with 13 touches equaled victory? I believe that is the year.
Yeah, and Hardy's right. He never had a chance to sort of be the guy.
Yeah, he's always
like
that.
Stevenson
he
has
did
the
all
last
most of that damage on third down, right?
Right. Stevenson's had that opportunity for the last half of this season.
Let's hope Stevenson can do some damage on third down today. That'd be nice. Oof. All right. We'll step aside here one more time. We will thank Dom's, who is now the official steak tip of the New England Patriots. Dom innate the grill this season with a tailgate box subscription. Visit domsausage.com to choose your plan. Get a curated box filled with quality meats delivered to your doorstep, ready to grill for the game. You'll be the MVP of the tailgate season.
View Interactive from the Yokers Company offers New England's leading schools and businesses technologically advanced and easy-to-use interactive displays, providing enhanced collaboration and improved student outcomes in the classroom, and an easy way to foster communication and teamwork in any business environment. Available in multiple sizes, TouchView also offers a built-in PC, allowing for easy use through video conference systems. For more information, visit okers.com.
$1 million? For picking players? That's a lot of money, DraftKings. You know how many jokes I got to tell to make $1 million? Probably like a half a one.
Take a free shot at $1 million with DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports.
Every play, every pass, every performance is perfected on the training field, producing critical data that's analyzed, measured, and studied. Acronis keeps that data safe and ensures it's there to use whenever and wherever it's needed.
Verizon, the network America relies on, and the official 5G network of the New England Patriots. Get in on the action with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of the New England Patriots. New customers can download the DraftKings app now and play free for millions in prizes using code PATS. That's code PATS, only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
When someone accidentally threw away the school play costumes,
Oh no.
replacements were shipped with FedEx. And with picture proof of delivery, everyone could focus on the perfect opening night. FedEx, where now meets next. For residential delivery only.
There's no season better than football season. And there's no better place to get in on all of the action than with DraftKings, the official daily fantasy sports partner of the New England Patriots. To add to the thrill, DraftKings has millions of dollars in prizes up for grabs every week. So head to the app now and check it out. If you haven't tried it yet, fantasy football is easy to play. Just pick 9 players, stay under the salary cap, and pile up points for yards, touchdowns, receptions, and so much more. There's no better way to put your football knowledge to the test than to compete for a shot at $1 million in total prizes. Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week. That's promo code PATS to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes every week, only at DraftKings. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Join the conversation by calling the Ace Ticket hotline at 855-PATS-500 or email the show at webradio@patriots.com.
Some people can fall asleep standing up, you know.
I'm not a horse.
I'm just saying.
Live from our studios inside Gillette Stadium, here's Hardy.
Warm-up still taking place, obviously. Hey, it's going to take a lot to get warm on a day like today. Very chilly in Foxborough as Patriots get ready to take on the Bengals.
Check out those long snaps.
Lonnie Paxton not available? Couldn't get Lonnie back here?
Saw him this summer. Saw Lonnie here.
Yeah, Lonnie was at training camp.
He's
LP.
He's living that San Diego life. He just talk about a guy that looks like San Diego. He is San Diego.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Oh yeah,
good dude.
And I meant that as a San Diego guy. Good.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
There's our boy getting. Oh, everybody, look at everybody. Look at his
so
smile.
His name is Jeremy.
Who's
Jerry? Jerry what? Jerry.
Is it Scotty Washington?
Scotty Washington.
We got a chance to look at. That's the tight end they elevated from the practice squad.
Scotty.
So a little surprised that he got the nod and not. Isn't Sokol still on the practice squad, Mike?
Yep, correct. Yep.
Let me tell you something about this Jerry guy.
Oh, they're showing. Yeah, here's the video. There she is.
See, I think Matuzak looked like he's trying to hold Karen back.
I know. She's like, that's right. My team beat your team, and we're better.
What? Just like what?
And like the jaw out, like the jaw.
That's
out.
the dregs right there.
Oh,
That's the dregs of fandom.
Yeah.
I mean, no surprise, like Raiders, but what are you gonna do?
Great job by Jerry.
Let me tell you something about
no
Jerry.
reaction, just letting her.
Letting her do
stood
it
there
and was like as stoic. Well, kind of like us, like we couldn't believe it.
Then she got in these last ones, and now she's like, now I'll leave. Okay, all right, now I'm ready. Okay.
Not getting the react. See that
Yeah,
like swing across.
Yeah.
That might have been a problem for me because you know me, I'm a little
Almost coming
I
in,
Tend,
you
I
felt-
tend to be a little emotional.
Yeah.
If she, yeah.
You felt like you was about to get.
I'd like to say that I could have done that because I like to think that I'm, evolved. I'm not. I'm not. I don't know how I would have responded. That was bad.
Very media savvy, this Jerry. Let me tell you why. Number one, $1 million smile.
Oh yeah.
This kid's got
Playing it too.
But
Playing it well.
see it how he's noted. He's wearing the jersey with the red hoodie at the game. What's he wearing out there on the field today?
Same
thing. He's very. I don't know that I would recognize him, but he's got the exact same outfit on. I'm like,
smart.
Oh, okay.
Right, that's the guy.
Wicked smart.
Wait, is it? It's a Brady jersey though, right?
I don't get whatever it is. I knew
Other Patriots fans, Mike, liked and appreciated what Tom Brady did. They're not all like you.
Can we get him a Judon jersey real quick?
All right, let's do the six-pack here, and we're going to get out on time today.
This is the Sunday six-pack, so kick back and listen to my position. I'm itching to get the picks back. You better bring a big stack. Get it mixed, Jack. I came to win it, yeah, this is the Sunday six-pack.
What happened last week there, Marine Matt?
All right, I got the right ones here. Paul and Mike, 4-1-1. Hardy, 3-2-1. Bringing the season totals to Paul, 46-26-1. Mike, 37-35-1. Hardy, 34-38-1.
Chilly.
Clinched it. I think PP's just about clinched this one.
Chilly on this hind teat. I gotta see if I can work my
This is
way
gonna
up
be
the
funny.
sow.
He's just going to pick the opposite every single game.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll see how it works out. We'll start with you, Mike. What's the first game?
The 11-3 Buffalo Bills at the 3-11 Chicago Bears. Buffalo -8.
Yeah, give me the Bills. I'll minus the 8 too.
Yeah, I'm going
you
to
have to.
I'm going to take Buffalo too. I think the weather is obviously going to be a factor there. Chicago is miserable by all accounts, but I will take the Bills.
Okay, this just happens to work out because I think this is one of those borderline equalizer games with the weather. So I will take the Bears getting 8 points today.
The 7-7 Seahawks at the 11-3 Kansas City Chiefs. KC -10.
I'm going to take the points. I just think Kansas City has been struggling a little bit. I know Seattle has been too, but I'm going to take the 10 points and see what happens.
This is all working out hardy. Everything's coming up hardy because I was taking the Chiefs in this one. Talk about Kansas City struggling. I couldn't care less if they're struggling. The bad team here is also struggling. I'll lay 10 with Kansas City, no problem.
Yeah, I'm going to lay 10 with Kansas City too.
The 7-7 Detroit Lions at the 5-9 Carolina Panthers. Detroit -2.5.
Do you even have to ask?
Oh, no.
Threw it on there for you, Hardy.
Yes, restore the roar, ride the pride. I will take the Lions and lay the 2.5.
Yeah, I'm going to take those Lions too. All aboard.
When was the last time the Lions were over 500? Do you have that information?
I'm not sure it's happening.
Just make your pick.
No,
Don't be a dick.
Detroit. I'm with you guys. Sorry.
2008.
No, they made the playoffs like under the
2010.
Caldwell guy, right?
I don't know.
All right,
Need that
I
Jeff
thought
Hobson magic.
I thought he'd be
like to highlight
I
it.
thought he'd be excited, Mike. You know, it's like you're on the verge of 8 and 7.
Excited, Mike.
Next, we got the 8-5-1.
Wait,
New York
who did you
Giants.
pick?
Detroit.
Oh, okay. We're all
We're
on
all on the Lions.
The 8-5-1 New York Giants at the 11-3 Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota -4.
Oh, yeah, I think the shine's come off the Vikes. I'm going to take the Fighting Brian Dabols on the road.
Yes, I'm going to take the points. I'll take the Giants.
Yeah, I like Minnesota in this game. You guys are both on the Giants?
I was going to say that was one. I could just tell by the way he takes it.
I can just tell.
Sunday at 1, the 6-8 Green Bay Packers at the 8-6 Miami Dolphins. Miami -3.5.
It's just me.
Yeah.
I will take the Dolphins. I think that they may have gotten their swagger back offensively. We'll see, because the Packers haven't been great defensively. At home, They should be able to move the ball and score some points.
Yeah.
I'll take Miami.
I like Miami in this game, too. As much as I hate to do it, I'm going to take the Dolphins.
I'm going to pull a Hardy and take the Pack.
By the way, Lions 9-7 in both 2016 and 2017.
So 17 would be the answer to the question. Last time they were over 500.
Correct.
And finally, the 10-4 Cincinnati Bengals at the 7-7 New England Patriots. Cincinnati -3.
Yeah, I'm taking the Patriots to win this game today. Why not? I feel like they got a little something cooking here. I'm picking them 24-21.
I'm going to be on Cincinnati. I earlier in the week, I felt like they were going to win big. I don't know what it is today. I feel like Patriots are going to make it close, but I think it'll be more than 3 points still. I'm going to take Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm going to take Cincinnati, too. I don't think it will necessarily be a blowout, but I think it'll be a game in the second half that the Bengals are in control of. I have 27-17 Cincinnati, as my father would say.
What's your score prediction,
Sorry.
Deuce?
I'm going to say 31-23.
Okay. That'll do it for this Patriots pregame. We'll talk to you in the post. Thanks for listening and watching.
Thank you for downloading this podcast. Subscribe on Apple, Google Play, and everywhere else you listen. Like the show? Please rate and review us. Listener comments and ratings help keep us high in the podcast rankings so new listeners can find us. Be sure to check Patriots.com for more news and more podcasts.